What is up again, YouTube? Coming back at you with another worthless video here. maybe some helpful information here for somebody, but went and took my test today. Had to get up at 5 o'clock and be there at 6 today so they could go over the course with us. So I went to sleep pretty early. I finally went to sleep early, like I've been saying for weeks now. I went to sleep at about 8 o'clock. Got up at a little after 5. I hit snooze once or twice, which is obvious, I guess. It's way too fucking early to be up, but went up there and they explained the course to us, went over all the hot spots to watch out for and how to get through them, which I've already went and drove the course a couple of times, so I already knew that stuff. We all carpooled up there to DPS, and they got us all signed in. We went over there and next door to a little Sooner surplus place where they let us stand over there under their little dock in the back, and you can kind of watch what's going on. They've kind of got it set up to where you're not supposed to be able to see them, so you can't give them hand signals or something. They don't want people cheating, I guess, which is whatever. I guess that makes sense. But we started out and we had our first guy. He already passed his pad in his driving, so he just had to do his PTI, and he barely got it. He had 20 seconds left till he was going to time out, and he got it. Our second guy, the other guy that had a CDL already, he went out there and got it all in his first try. He got his PTI, his pad, and his driving on his first try, so that was good. The dude we were all sure was going to get it on his first try went out there again, and he I guess he scraped a curb and they failed him, which is, it's kind of stupid, but it's kind of understandable too. I mean, the course is easy enough to make it through it without hitting a curb. There's only one curb you should have to hit, and that's only if there's a car there. So it's kind of dumb. I mean, you're gonna barely scrape curbs in some of these streets when you're driving a truck. It's just gonna happen. You're gonna drive over them and smash them all the time. I see the curbs smashed and messed up all over the place. I mean, that's from trucks that either they can't drive it good enough to get it through there, or you just have to for some reason. So I think that should be points against you, but whatever. After he went, it was about 11:40 something by then. It was about 11:50 whenever he came up and told us that he had failed and had to come back again. Which is his second try, so he's got one more, which is another stupid thing, really. But it was like 11:50 something, and then the instructor just disappears for 2 hours for lunch break and doesn't tell us. So we're over there waiting for 2 hours. I've been out there for 7 hours waiting for my turn, which I thought was going to be one of the first ones. From what they told us, they usually have the first timers go first and get it out of the way, and then they let all the retesters go back. But this time they didn't do that. They basically had all those other guys. Second guy was a first timer, so, and they got the PTI out of the way first, which we knew they were going to do that. But so 7 hours later, I finally get to go over there, and I failed my PTI, which I knew I was going to fail. I haven't studied that at all. She said I did really good on the first half and in the end cab, which those are the parts I knew pretty good already. Back of it, I just messed up, and she said I was pointing out all the right stuff, but I wasn't describing it good enough, which is, I know if it's broken or not. I'm not stupid. I mean, I just don't know how to give a lecture on what to do about it or what I'm looking for there. I mean, about halfway through it, I just stopped trying to say what needed to be looked for and stuff. I was just ready to get that out of the way, because you can go back and take that as much as you want. You can go take the PTI every day. You don't have to have a waiting period if you fail it too many times. Even if as long as you get the other two, you can go take that as much as you want. The pad and the driving, you only get 3 tries before you have to wait a month, which is kind of stupid. I mean, some people are waiting. They have to get this out of the way so they can go get a job, and then they've got these stupid reasons for failing people that just don't make sense. They got this, you can miss 30 points on their test, which I haven't heard a single person ever missing points. None of them have ever pointed. They all fail for one of the instant fails. I mean, that's the only thing you fail for, is one of the instant fails. If you're speeding, I can understand that, because that's against the law and you're not supposed to do that, so whatever. If you're going too slow on the interstate, like I did that today, I was getting off on an off-ramp, and I went down below 40. I went down to like 30-something, 35 or 36 is what she said. I didn't notice it. As soon as I got on the off-ramp, I started speeding up a little bit to get back up to speed. So I did notice I was going too slow, but she said that was one of the reasons I would have failed. And then the other reason you fail is if you hit a curb or something. I didn't hit any curbs, so I thought I might have hit the curb when I was leaving the very first turn out of the DPS center. I thought I hit the curb, and I guess she either didn't mention it, or as soon as I went through the whole course, I figured she didn't fail me for that, because she didn't ever say anything about it, and it really wasn't a curb. It's more like a little gravel exit, so I guess she let that slide or didn't see it. But another thing she said, I missed a couple of my turn signals. I didn't get them right at the right time. I had one of them messed up. I still had the left on when I was making the right turn on one of the hard turns. You have to turn left and then turn right away, and I guess I forgot to flip it to the right. But that's not an instant fail. That would have just been points, I guess. But she said I would have failed for one of my left-hand turns I made. I came in and I stopped to get my gear, which she said she understands, which I don't know if that meant I would have failed for impeding traffic there or not, but I had to get to a lower gear. I couldn't just go in a high gear. I would have failed for that too, but it would have been a dangerous turn. I would have messed the turn up if I would have done that, so I had to slow down and get a slower gear to make the turn. But she said I should have stayed stopped because a car turned into there, and I blocked the car when I was turning. I didn't see him. When I stopped, I saw there's a stop sign beside me to the right, and there's a car sitting there, which he has to stay stopped. I have the right of way. There's a traffic light in front of me with a car sitting at a red light, so I have the right of way there again. I can still go. And I saw all that. I looked and I went. But when we got back there, she said that I guess a car had got to the green light and turned left into my road, and she said if I would have looked over there, I would have saw it coming, and I would have known that I should stop and wait for him, but I never saw it. I mean, I would have failed probably anyway for going too slow on the interstate. It's minimum speed 40, and if I go under that, that's another law. I can understand failing instantly for breaking the law like that, but impeding traffic and like scrubbing curbs should just be points, in my opinion. The guy who went after me failed almost right when he got out of the DPS center. He got to a yield sign, and what he said anyway was there was a bunch of people coming and they were just driving crazy, and he had to wait for them before he goes. So he waited and waited and waited, and they fail you for sitting there for too long. I mean, what are you supposed to do? You pull out, you're going to block traffic and fail, or you sit there and you're going to block traffic and fail. I mean, the whole impeding traffic thing, I've been telling people that all week, is like, I'm pretty sure my driving is really good. I'm not going to, unless I hit a curb or impede traffic, those are the only two things that I'm going to fail for. And I know I'm not going to hit any curbs on that course now that I've done it, at least, but I can impede traffic every time. It's just random dice. I mean, it seems to me like the people that are passing are all passing earlier in the morning, and both the guys that passed today, even the guy that did the PTI, he passed Tuesday. He was the first one of the day to pass, so he did the same thing as our other guy, he was the first one to go out on the road, and he passed. And then the second guy to go out on the road before lunch, still, all he did was hit that curb. And aside from that, he made the whole course and got back, and that's the only thing they failed him for. They didn't say he blocked traffic or anything. And then way after lunch at like 2 o'clock, we're out there, and both of us block traffic and fail. So it's kind of like, it seems like that's the way it's been going. I'm going to pay more attention to it tomorrow and see if that happens again. Because they've got people going tomorrow, and then I guess I go back on Tuesday. But I'm going to pay more attention to that and see if it's just the morning people that are passing and everyone in the afternoon's failing. Even the instructors, when we got back, were complaining about the impeding traffic thing. It just seems like they're just calling it on people too much, and it shouldn't be an instant fail. I mean, if you pull out and people have to slam on their brakes to stop because of you, yeah, you fail. But the guy that went after me, he failed his last one because when he pulled out of the DPS and made his turn, there was people down the road that had to slow down because he was pulling out. But if you ask me, that's not a reason to fail someone. I mean, that's gonna happen. I mean, people are gonna turn out and they're not gonna be going the speed limit, and you have to slow down. And I mean, on the drive home from there, I had to do that 5 or 10 times. People would pull out in front of me and they weren't going the speed limit, and I had to slow down. I mean, would every one of them have failed their driving test because of that? I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, the point system should be there to fail you, not just the... I mean, the instant fails for breaking the law or doing something real dangerous, that makes sense, but scratching a curb or slowing down traffic when you're turning for a second, I mean, come on, man. You got to give us a break there. I've heard that Oklahoma's one of the hardest ones for passing, but from what I can see so far, doing the whole PTI and the pad are both pretty easy. I mean, I didn't get my PTI, and I didn't have to take the pad test because there was people there, so I went straight out on the road. Usually you do the PTI, the pad, and then the road, but there was people in the way, so we went straight out on the road. But, seems like they're screwing people over with that impeding traffic thing to me. If it wasn't for that, I probably would have passed today. Well, I wouldn't have passed because I went under the speed limit on the interstate. But from what I can tell, the only thing, even she told me I drove fine. Besides that, everything I did was fine. I wasn't paying attention to my turn signal. I need to make sure I do my turn signals at the right time. All my shifting was fine. I did really good the whole time. I backed the trailer, and when we got back to DPS, fine. I probably would have got all my maneuvers fine. The only thing that got me was impeding traffic, which just seems like it's just a shot in the dark there. You might fail 3 times just because of that. If you get the afternoon every time, you're going to fail because of traffic, I guess. If there's bad traffic, you just fail. So, I don't know. I've heard of a bunch of people failing for impeding traffic. But, the only other people I've heard of failing are they either run over a curb or they were speeding. And speeding is the only thing I think should be an instant fail. That's just my opinion on it. I mean, I could understand if it's 5 or even 10 points for doing hitting a curb or impeding traffic. And then I think they give you a point if you take your hand off the wheel, if you hold your hand on the clutch for too long. They've been teaching us for 4 weeks now, all these things they point you on when you're driving, but no one has ever even mentioned being pointed for these things when they fail. It's just speeding, impeding traffic, or hitting a curb. If you do any of those things, you just fail. If you don't do those things, you pass. That just seems to be the way it's happening. So I go back on Tuesday. I'll probably go up there tomorrow. They've got the graduation tomorrow, and I need to work on my PTI, I guess, and just keep my my maneuvering skills up to par, I guess. But I don't know if I'm going to go up there for a full day anymore after this. I'm going to be really pissed off if I fail 3 times because of that stuff, man. The guy today was his 3rd fail, and he was mad when he left. Because he's the same thing as me and a couple other guys there. I mean, we're going to run out of money and have to go get another job if we have to wait 30 days. We need to go do that and go get a job. So, apparently it's easier to go get our CDLs in another state, so I don't know why we just don't go to another state and get our driver's license changed over to there and then go get a CDL in their state and then go get a job after that. I mean, I don't know if we can do that because of the 30-day wait or if other states just let you come up there and do it. I'm not sure how it works, but I've still got 2 tries. If I mess up on Tuesday, I'm going to look into that because I don't want to mess around. If I fail on Tuesday, I'll probably go back on the following Friday. I'm going to be pissed off if I fail 3 times and have to wait 30 days just because of stupid impeding traffic or something. I don't think it'll happen on the pad, but impeding traffic just seems like, who knows? They can get you for sitting there to not, if you don't want to turn out in front of people because you're afraid you're going to block them and impede traffic, they can make you impede traffic for blocking the people behind you for too long. So it's just like, you got a random dice on what the instructor, the tester wants to do and the traffic. You got 2 things there that could either one of those things can just decide that you failed just out of because. I mean, there's nothing about how good you are or what's going on. You can drive perfectly fine, but the traffic or the instructor can just decide you fail. So I'm not too worried about it right now. So I got a couple days left, and I wasn't going to go to my orientation until the end of next week anyway. I really need to, if I don't leave that week, I need to pass and get there by the end of that week. I'm going to have some money by the middle of next month, or I'm going to be in trouble with my bills. So if I don't pass, I got to make that 30-day wait. I'm going to have to figure something out. But I'll probably go up there tomorrow and let you guys know what happens then. I'll look into that and see if people fail more in the morning or what's going on there. But I think I'm going to go get me some fast food, relax a little bit. It's Thursday, so got some anime to watch, I guess. I should probably look into my PTI a little bit, but I'm probably not going to. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Game over.